the mass roach baneling stuff that he sometimes shows off. But we are soon to find out. Here we go. Spawning the top left-hand corner of Akalon Waste, the blue Terran player, Startail Hack. And his opponent down in the bottom right. The red Zerg, his last chance for the round of 8. It's Quantic Hyun. And I'm feeling a slight bias in the audience. Does anyone here want Hack to win? Yeah! Okay, there's one guy in the back.
I'm pretty sure there are a lot of European fans at home. Some of the Europeans that are still awake. Of course, big shout out to all of you guys that are watching deep middle in the night. I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys want to win, or want Hack to win.
Was confused for a second. I saw Hyun starting an extractor, but it was just to squeeze out an extra drone. He's
I thought you were
opting for the
confused at my sentence, and I was like, wait, is it not night at Europe? Am I confusing the time zones now?
Well, it's actually probably getting close to morning.
No, it's not that bad. Well, actually,
yeah,
in the middle of the night, 3, 4 a.m.
It's like 3, 4 a.m.
Ah, that's like standard time for me to watch GSL or Pro League.
So those guys getting up, getting ready for the workday.
Yeah, that's true. It's the middle of the week. Oh well. I'm sure there are Feniwas watching. There are
Somewhere.
Feniwas all around the world.
Somewhere there's at least one. It's probably Morrow.
Morrow? I mean, he's probably awake, but I'm not sure if he's the biggest Naniwa fan. Maybe he is.
Maybe it's Bishu.
Oh, Bishu, definitely. Bishu build. Heads first over here on the bottom side of the map for Hyun in this best of 3. That's so important for him. When he played against Spold in the finals of MLG, they had that absolutely ridiculously cool, insane game on Eklund. It was just, you know, there are no words to describe how cool that game was. It would be awesome to see something like this today. And it's also fun to finally see a game of Hack. We did, in TVZ that is, of course, we did see him play against Bjol. And even though Bjol looked fantastic in the series against Hack, Hack did manage to take one map. And Hack looked good too, but he just, you know, he wasn't ready to deal with Bjol. And then it's, of course, the question, is Bjol better in this matchup than Hyun is? Well, that's something that's impossible to answer right now, but maybe in 1 hour we have a much better idea of that.
One Rax Fast Expand coming out here for Hack, and it's going to be hatch first into gas, into spawning pool for Hyun. So this is so typical of Hyun. He definitely prefers the map control, the early speedlings, and often heavy mid-game aggression with lots of low-tech units.
What I'm expecting of Hack is pretty standard. I think he's going to get a couple of Marines out after that, just drop the factory immediately, and then going to get a couple of Hellions out for some map control and just full on macro mode from that point on. Would be cool to see something surprising. I don't think he's going to mess around with Banshees or anything like that. I think this is going to be as standard as we can possibly imagine it from Hack. And of course, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I also think that Hyun is, you know, he should be pleased with that.
Yes, sir. Zergling speed starting up for Hyun. He's going to pull 2 drones off of gas. We'll continue mining a little bit in case he decides he wants to start an upgrade or get a baneling nest. SCV Scout's going to get a little bit of a look. But ultimately...
Oh, another command center going down already for Hack. It's not something what I expected, man. Even on the low ground, it's going to be kind of hard to scout in an ironic way. I mean, normally that's not where you want to send in your Overlord. Often you see the command center go down over here, then the Overlord will just either over here peek in and we'll see it. Second refinery going down as well. Hack is playing pretty greedy. I think if this would have been a big Roach Bane from Hyun, he would have been in a little bit of trouble, but that's not the case.
Well, I guess it could technically still be, but I don't think it's what we're going to see. As Hyun is droning up by... I almost expect him to take a 3rd base soon. Zergling speed will finish up, and once it does, yep, there's that drone going out. So soon to be a 3-base Hyun against what will soon be a 3-base Hack. And I think that's just fine with our Zerg player.
Interesting, man. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. It's there's so much on the line. It's so much more than just this series.
Factory down already for Hack. I'm quite certain we're going to see the whole biomine play. There's that Roach Warren from Hyun. This is so characteristic of how he likes to play ZVT.
Well, of course, Hyun doesn't know about this 3rd command center. He might suspect it, but he doesn't know it for sure. So just in case 6 to 8 Hellions suddenly drive by, he's going to have to get Roaches out in a certain phase of the game. If this command center wouldn't have been dropped, that factory would have been down a little bit quicker, most likely. But Hyun has nothing to worry about. He played in an economic way, opening himself. He's 12 workers ahead. And I think by the time that he knows what he's playing against, he should be able to make that even slightly more than just 12.
Now, Roach Bane is not a new or unique playstyle in Zerg vs. Terran. It's something that many players have done for a long time. Nurchio was playing Roach Infester back in Wings of Liberty. And
that's really long ago.
If you want to go back even further than that, we can talk about Losira, who kind of pioneered Roach Baneling in his early days in Code. But
I really love how Nurture was the only one playing Roach Infestor for such a long time. And then Darren's here like, how do you play against this?
How do you stop this?
All the Marines getting fungled at once. It's like, well, what if you don't let all your Marines hawk each other? Then
the way Hyun does Roach Baneling, though, is a little bit different. He makes fewer Roaches and honestly fewer Banelings and tons and tons and tons of Zerglings. It's not uncommon for him to have more than 100 Lings out on the map. And just a few Roaches and Banelings to represent the tankiness and, of course, the big bursty damage from the Banelings.
That's an exciting style, and perhaps we're going to see something like this. So far, Hyun is playing very economic. We saw the Baneling nest going down, Layer is halfway down, both Evolution Chambers being morphed in as well. A couple of these Roaches are going to push these Hellions back, you know, which is nice because Heck right now sees absolutely nothing, so he's going to have to work. Even misreading this a little bit, Ben, he has nothing to worry about for now, but he's still going to throw down 2 additional bunkers, and he's probably going to be a little hesitant taking this third base. This is good news for Hyun. Look at this, 11 more drones on the way.
Yeah, this is one of the big strengths of Hyun's playstyle. As a Terran player, if you don't make this kind of preparation, and there is a bus, you're dead. And if you do make this kind of preparation and there's heavy droning, then you're kind of behind, so it works out well. And we see a Spire going down here for Hyun. That's maybe not what we expected out of him, but it certainly makes plenty of sense. When you've got a great economy and a lot of gas, why not go Mutas?
He's going to be able to make a crazy amount of Mutas. Then of course, Heck will eventually be able to mine a lot of minerals at once as well with these 3 orbital commands. This Overlord is going to start dropping creep over here. I'm loving it. It's going to make it so much harder for Heck to take the space, or at least it's going to delay everything just a little more. And every second counts, certainly on this level. I think Hyun so far has played a flawless game without doing too much right, just picking the right opening, not being afraid. He's up 20 workers, he has excellent creep spread, 4 bases on the way, operates are rolling. I think everything is going Hyun's way so far.
It's all good in Hyun's neighborhood. 4th base is down. And that creep is beginning to spread with great haste.
Macro hatchery going up in the main base as well.
So important that Zergs get this macro hatchery when they're playing any style, but you really need a place to put that extra queen energy, and helps so much with the production. God, and 11 more drones.
Yeah. I mean, he did see the orbital earlier with that Overlord that was cruising by. Of course, he researched Overlord speed pretty damn early on. Another Marine is going to push this Overlord out. Is there a 4th command center area? I don't think there is. So the moment that Heck is going to move out, it's going to be pretty scary. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of Marines streaming out at once. He's had a lot. Look at the creep spread. I mean, not just creep spread, but look at the map vision of Hyun. These 4 links are just flying mid-air. There's Overlords everywhere. There's quite okay creep spread. There are Banelings, there are links everywhere. He's both zone Naga Watchtowers. He sees everything.
Yeah, he's in a great spot. But I think at this point in the game, Hack doesn't mind so much. He's given all of this up. He hasn't contested the map control at all. Now we're seeing Hack's first real attempt to push out on the map. He's got a few siege tanks. This is going to help a lot against the Banelings.
He needs to buy a little bit of time for himself. He doesn't have too many units out at the moment. He doesn't have much larva either, but he should be fine. It's very scary for Hack to just run up to creep. So he's going to take his time regardless.
Yep. Right now, Hyun just trying to protect this creep tumor. It will go ahead and finish up, but I'm sure that we will see scans soon to take some of that out.
I love the Overlord spread. Look at the minimap. That's just
great vision. No drops will go unscouted. Hyun is definitely covering his covering himself so that he doesn't fall victim to something like that. Here we go, a little bit of an engagement. Zergling's going to try to surround. Baneling's connecting mostly with siege tanks. That's really not how you want it done, but it's more than enough for Hyun to clean up this little bit of aggression, and I can't stress how incredibly important it is for Zergs to stop the initial Terran push. This makes it so much easier for Hyun to continue into the later stages of the mid-game. This drop is going to try to be annoying, but Hyun's handling it very well, splitting up his army, and he's going to chase it away.
A couple of Banelings going to roll in as well. Medevac even falling.
Very nice.
Heck lost a lot of units in this little push, and he didn't really get anything done. And since Hyun is severely outmining him...
What are you doing, Queen? You're not supposed to be that far out by yourself. Drops will pick her off. 14 mutas just spawning.
Medevac's going to have a bad time.
It is going to wrest control from the skies, or of the skies.
Oh my god. Just
from
60 Zerglings in production as well.
Yep. And
It's a good moment to be Hyun.
That is Hyun style, man. Tons and tons of Lings, a few Banelings. Muta's in the mix as well. I'm not sure. I guess with +2 air attack, he will continue to commit to the Mutas. I almost expected him to go back to just a mass ground army, but it doesn't look like that's in the cards for us here. Hyun's got so many units, and they are going to try and wrap around this Terran army.
A little sloppy there, but he's able to afford it. His economy is absolutely fantastic.
Lings. This is such a small thing, but such a cool thing. It gives him that extra bit of vision. He'll know when this army pushes forward because there's a little Zergling there. And while one of his buddies is going to get spotted, that Broodling in the back doing some great work.
Army supply, we can see a very nice advantage for Hyun at the moment. He's actually maxed out. He doesn't have too many Banelings yet, but he could easily morph them if he wants to. Has a little bit of gas for it as well. Perhaps waiting for those upgrades to finish up. He does have 2 upgrades now. There are quite a few mines in his army, so he has to be careful with how he wants to engage this.
Yep, Muta's going to try and pick off a couple of these mines. As they find openings, Queen will fall.
The 4th command set was quite late though for Hack. I feel that if Hyun cleans up this army, then he's going to make it so hard for Hack to ever take that 4th base.
I think it's already going to be a little bit complicated because while Hack does have a scary force here, Hyun's going to have to make a couple of mistakes before he's in any real trouble. As we see a couple of Banelings connecting with a handful of Marines, all of the Widow mines just getting picked off by good Muta play. And here comes Hyun. The swarm is rolling. It's surrounded. The Banelings will connect. And that is as one-sided a fight as you can hope for if you're a Zerg player. Hyun will remax instantly. Hack drops to 140 supply. Widow mines continuing to be focused down by the Zerg army, and I can't help but feel like this one's over, Kev.
There's still so many Banelings active. These Marines are going to have to be split up perfectly. Hack doesn't really have too many units alive. Only 94 supply remaining. All these Mutas are still alive. Hyun just completely overrunning Hack in game number 1.
And a single swarm host on the way for Hyun. That's a common mistake, but that swarm host, I'm sure we'll find a place to burrow somewhere on the map. And
could shut down a drop.
All Hyun has to do is continue to press into his opponent. Hack is in so much trouble. That 4th command center did land.
Yeah, it's actually morphing into a planetary fortress right now.
I'm aware of it at the time being. But we will see the Zerg crashing through these rocks and making his way. Oh, spotted. Will that plan? I guess the planetary is.
He's going to abandon that mission immediately. Muta's flying over. Just 28 Marines. Hack lost so much. That first fight just wasn't worth it. And
careful, careful, careful. Whoa! Widow Mine's going to take a little bit of damage. Or Muta's, rather. From the Widow Mines. Hack's going to try to drop. Little does he know there are overlords everywhere.
And he has a lot of drones to kill. There are 82 of them. I think Hyun is actually going to be quite okay if he takes a couple of them out.
Zerglings in the 3rd base. The 4th base has been raised and flown back into the natural. This drop, of course, easily dealt with because Hyun saw it coming literally from miles away. That medevac turned into a boat when it landed.
Still not very useful.
This
turrets get picked up. There are still so many Mutalists just flying around, destroying everything they can possibly destroy. And if you take a look at Hack's vision right now, this is what Hack sees. That's never a good sign. Hack sees nothing.
It's a dark day in Terran land. Oh, the Swarm Host has decided to get involved in the fight.
Oh, a couple of Brood Banelings. Barely out of it. I did see it.
These Locusts are actually kind of cool against the Widow Mines.
Nothing wrong with it. Maybe it was on purpose, Ben.
I don't know. I don't know about that, Kev. Bio continues to push forward. Scan misses the Swarm Host again. And Hyun just running amok through the expansions of Hack now. It's 140 Terran supply against 170, so it kind of looks like Hack is holding the line here, but Kevin, he just keeps losing his economy. He can't land this 4th base. Burrowed Zerglings, clearly the most effective deterrent in the world against command centers.
He's even losing the orbiter in his 3rd base, so by the time that he finally takes his 4th base, he lost his 3rd. He could, of course, float over his main, because that one is pretty much mined out. Yeah, Hack has a reasonable army, and he's kind of hanging in there like a champ. But as you said, this is just a fight that he can't keep up. It's the war of nutrition, as Andre always liked to call it. And Hyun can keep this up for days, and Hack cannot.
The war of nutrition?
That's how he always calls it.
Where you eat well? Muta's going to continue being...
Never listened to Undercast?
I've never heard War of Nutrition.
He says it like every single cast.
Man, that's funny. Zerglings still being annoying in the attempted 4th expansion of Hack. This planetary is actually going to finish up, which is going to force Hyun to commit some banelings to it, but I don't think he's going to mind. He's got plenty of money. Ultraless Caverns also coming down along with 3/3 upgrades for the ground army.
Hack is finally finding some space in this game to actually be a little bit aggressive, but it's so hard because there are just Mutalists flying all over the place. There's still so many links as well. Muta's going to fly into the main base, and then he's probably going to lose a couple of these reactors. There's just nothing here to deal with these Mutas, and it's so many of them.
We're going to start picking off add-ons, making the macro difficult for our Terran player and Hack. He's hanging in there like a champ, man, but this is such an uphill battle.
Sweeping leaves on a windy day, Ben.
It certainly feels that way.
How do you say it in Dutch again?
Oba Kaloba Dankjewel.
No. But Claire, I'm sure the Dutch fans out there appreciate your 20 Mutalisks and 91 links and absolute map control and just complete domination from start to finish for Hyun. And I must say, looking at game number 1, Ben, Hyun's chances to make it to the round of 8 are starting to look pretty damn good.
Yes, sir. This command center is going to come under fire from a lot of Mutalisks. We can see Ultras on the production tab now. Marines will chase this away, but not before that command center is picked off once more, and these units are just going to head right over to the 4th base, which is not going to last very long.
Oh my god.
Nor will the SCVs that we're trying to mine there.
God, Hyun is just showcasing how to play ZVT when you're ahead, and you just... I don't even know what to say about this game. It's a massacre, as the French would say.
Yeah, le massacre indeed. This is the last command center for Hack. If he doesn't save it, he's going to be revealed soon.
I mean, I love that he's just fighting for until, you know, this final unit. Why not? It's such an important game, and you never want to give up too early. But this is just almost impossible. It's unfair. We still have 51 Marines, and they finally... oh my god, they've been stimming a little bit too much as well. That's what you get, man. When the war is going bad, you start using stuff you shouldn't use.